Welcome, seeker.
Imagine stepping into a path that twists and turns, yet never leads you astray. A path where every step forward is also a step inward, where the outer journey mirrors the inner, and the closer you come to the center, the closer you come to yourself. For thousands of years, the labyrinth has been more than a pattern carved into stone floors or traced in sand. It has been a living symbol of the human spirit's search for meaning, a sacred map of the soul. Unlike a maze, which confuses and entangles, the labyrinth has only one winding way. It does not seek to trick you. It seeks to transform you. Monks walk them by candlelight. Mystics traced their paths under moonlit skies. Pilgrims carried their questions, their griefs, their hopes, and let the rhythm of the walk reveal answers that words alone could never give. But what is it about the labyrinth that makes it so powerful? Why have cultures as distant as the Minoans, Native Americans, and medieval Christians all turn to this symbol of spiraling return? And why do modern seekers, amid all our chaos, distractions, and noise, still find clarity in the simple act of walking its winding lines? In this journey, we will explore the labyrinth not as a relic of the past, but as a living tool for transformation. We will uncover its history, its hidden meanings, and the philosophy that lies within its spirals. We will ask how this ancient practice can still guide us through the challenges of modern life, offering clarity when the mind is clouded and insight when the heart is weary. Most importantly, we will discover how walking a labyrinth can become a meditation in motion, a way of entering silence without sitting still, of finding stillness even while moving. So prepare to step into the spiral. The path awaits, and within its turns lies the possibility of meeting something greater than yourself. The labyrinth is older than most written languages. It is a symbol that appears carved into Neolithic stones, painted onto ancient pottery, and etched into the very landscapes of forgotten civilizations. Wherever human beings have sought meaning, the labyrinth has appeared, like an echo of the collective soul whispering through time. The earliest known labyrinth design was discovered in Pylos, Greece, dating back over 4,000 years. Yet the most famous comes from the myth of King Minos of Crete, who commissioned the master craftsman Daedalus to build a labyrinth so cunning in its design that none who entered could escape. At its center lay the Minotaur, a beast both feared and revered. To the Greeks, this was no mere story. It was a symbolic drama of humanity's confrontation with the beast within, and the winding path that forces us to face ourselves before reaching freedom. But the labyrinth was not confined to the Mediterranean. The Hopi of North America revered a labyrinth-like symbol they called the Mother Earth, representing life's journey and the soul's emergence into the next world. In Scandinavia, stone labyrinths were laid out near the sea, believed to trap hostile spirits or protect fishermen on their voyages. In India, labyrinth patterns appear in sacred diagrams, hinting at their link to cosmic order and the eternal dance of creation. By the Middle Ages, labyrinths found their way into the grand cathedrals of Europe. Perhaps the most famous is that of Chartres Cathedral in France, where pilgrims walked its circular path as a substitute for the long and dangerous journey to Jerusalem. These labyrinths were not distractions. They were sacred tools of prayer, pilgrimage, and initiation. Every step toward the center mirrored the soul's progress toward God, the one or the ineffable source of being. Philosophically, the labyrinth reflects a paradox that lies at the heart of all mystical traditions. The path is long, yet the destination is already within. To walk the labyrinth is to embody this truth. You wander, you turn, you seem lost, but in reality, you are always moving closer to the center. This may be why the labyrinth has survived or other symbols have faded. It does not belong to any single religion, yet it speaks to them all. It is a universal archetype, a mirror of the psyche, and a living reminder that the way forward is not always straight. Sometimes it must spiral. And yet, Despite its universality, the labyrinth has often been misunderstood. To the unknowing eye, it appears like a puzzle, a decorative curiosity. But to those who walk it with reverence, it becomes a portal, a doorway into deeper consciousness, a sacred journey concealed in plain sight. This is why mystics across ages and cultures have returned to it again and again. It carries a wisdom that cannot be erased by time, a wisdom we are about to explore in greater depth. At first glance, a labyrinth may look like a maze, but it is not. A maze is designed to confuse, to trick the mind with dead ends and wrong turns. A labyrinth has no such traps. It is one continuous path, winding and spiraling, but always leading you inward toward the center. This is the first key to understanding the labyrinth. It is not a puzzle to be solved, but a journey to be experienced. Each step you take represents a letting go, a release of control. You cannot rush to the center. You cannot leap ahead. The path demands patience, attention, and surrender. When you walk the labyrinth, something subtle begins to happen. Your thoughts, once scattered, begin to mirror the rhythm of your feet. Step by step, breath by breath, the mind grows quiet. Like waves slowly calming after a storm, the inner chaos begins to settle. The labyrinth has 3 essential stages, each carrying a hidden meaning. The first is the journey inward. Here, as you walk toward the center, you are symbolically shedding the noise of the outside world. Every twist of the path is like peeling away a layer of distraction, until all that remains is you and the path beneath your feet. The second stage is arrival at the center. This is the still point, the heart of the labyrinth, the place of communion. Here you pause, reflect, or pray. The center represents clarity, vision, and union with the higher self. Or, as Plotinus would say, a glimpse of the one. The third stage is the journey outward. But notice, the path outward is the same path you took inward. You are retracing your steps, but you are not the same person who entered. What you carry back with you, insight, peace, renewal, becomes your gift to the world beyond the labyrinth. To the uninitiated, this may seem simple, but beneath this simplicity lies the essence of meditation itself. The labyrinth externalizes what happens internally when meditate. The descent into silence, the union with presence, and the return with wisdom. Why is this so effective? Because unlike seated meditation, the labyrinth engages the body. Each step grounds the experience, anchoring the insights into flesh and bone. The mind cannot wander far when the body itself is praying through motion. This is why ancient pilgrims used labyrinths as substitutes for distant holy journeys. The path was not only physical, it mirrored the inner pilgrimage of the soul. To walk the labyrinth was to live out, in miniature, the grand journey of existence itself. And so the labyrinth becomes more than a design, it becomes a teacher. One that does not speak in words, but in spirals, turns, and silence. The labyrinth is more than a path. It is a symbol of the cosmos itself. Its spirals mirror galaxies in the night sky, seashells curled by the ocean, and even the intricate patterns of our DNA. It whispers the hermetic truth. As above, so below. As within, so without. One of the paradoxes of the labyrinth is that while it seems to wind endlessly, the path is always certain. You may feel lost, you may believe you are circling aimlessly, yet you are always moving closer to the center. This mirrors the spiritual journey of human life itself. Even when we feel far from clarity, every step, every experience brings us closer to truth. Ancient mystics saw the labyrinth as a guardian against chaos. In Greece, it was linked to the myth of the Minotaur, a beast of shadow hidden within the twisting passages. But esoterically, the Minotaur represents our inner fears, the untamed, unconscious forces we must face within ourselves. Walking the labyrinth is a symbolic confrontation with these shadows. a descent into the dark corners of the psyche where transformation begins. In the Christian Middle Ages, labyrinths took on another layer of meaning. The great stone labyrinth of Chartres Cathedral, laid into the very floor, was not just decoration. It was a sacred tool, a path walked in prayer as a substitute for the dangerous pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Each stone turn was a station of reflection, guiding the pilgrim to a vision of divine grace at the center. But across cultures, one theme repeats. The labyrinth teaches us about rhythm and polarity. Just as day follows night, and inhale follows exhale, the labyrinth leads us inward, then outward. It reflects the eternal cycles of life, birth, death, rebirth. To walk it is to align oneself with these cosmic patterns, to find balance in the ever-turning wheel of existence. Another hidden teaching lies in the act of surrender. The labyrinth offers no shortcuts, no choices, no riddles. The only requirement is trust. Trust in the path, trust in the process, trust that every turn, however confusing, has its purpose. In this way, the labyrinth becomes a living metaphor for faith in the unseen order of life. Some traditions believed that labyrinths could open portals between worlds. They were placed at thresholds, temple entrances, burial sites, and crossroads to mark the liminal space between ordinary reality and the sacred. To step into a labyrinth was to cross the veil, to enter a dimension where time slows and where visions, insights, and even contact with the divine could occur. Here lies its greatest paradox. The labyrinth is at once utterly simple and infinitely profound. It is a pattern drawn on the ground, yet it is also a mirror of the soul. It is a path you can complete in 20 minutes, yet its wisdom can take a lifetime to unfold. And so the labyrinth endures across centuries and civilizations as a universal spiritual technology. Not a relic of the past, but a living guide for those who seek clarity, courage, and connection to the eternal. But before we enter into the practical application section of this journey, if this path resonates, if this exploration has stirred something within you, remember to subscribe and leave a comment below. In this section, you will find a detailed, step-by-step guide on how to use the labyrinth as a living practice. Whether you stand before a stone Chartres pattern, trace a finger labyrinth, or lay out a spiral in your garden, read slowly, then practice slowly and carefully. 1. Prepare the space 10 to 20 minutes. Choose a quiet place and time where you won't be disturbed. Sweep or clear the ground. Dim harsh lights. Candles, a bowl of water, or a simple cloth underfoot help mark the threshold between ordinary and sacred. 2. Choose your labyrinth form. If you have a full Chartres-style path, great. If not, draw a simple spiral on paper, use a finger labyrinth, or arrange stones in a spiral in a yard. Even a rope laid on the floor works. The form matters less than the intention. 3. Create a short opening ritual. Stand at the entrance. Breathe slowly 3 times. State a brief intention aloud or silently. I walk to receive clarity, or I release what no longer serves. Ring a bell or touch an object to mark the beginning. 4. Grounding breath and posture, 2 to 5 minutes. Before stepping in, practice a simple breath pattern. Inhale 4 counts, hold 2, exhale 6 counts. Feel feet on the earth. Soften shoulders. Let the body be the anchor. Let the breath be the metronome. 5. Begin the walk. Go slow. Walk slowly, as if each step is a thread weaving the mind to the present. Keep a natural pace, slower than normal walking. Let the rhythm of your feet match the rhythm of your breath. 6. Use a focal practice. Choose one. Sensory anchor. Notice the contact of soul with ground. Breath anchor. Count breaths silently. Phrase mantra. Repeat a single sacred word with each step. Pick one and stay with it. Switching anchors dissolves the practice. 7. Welcome whatever arises. Thoughts, images, emotions. Allow them like weather passing. If fear or grief appears, breathe into it. Name it, this is fear. Then continue. The labyrinth structure holds you while the unconscious speaks. 8. Arrive at the center. Receive, don't force. When you reach the center, pause. Sit or stand comfortably. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Invite a question to the surface. What needs my attention? Wait. This is a listening chamber. Answers often come as images, feelings, or a sudden clarity. 9. Center ritual, 5 to 20 minutes. Practice one or more. Silent receptivity, journaling, brief notes, offering, blow a kiss to the earth, pour water into soil, or a short prayer of thanks. Let silence expand. Do not chase insights. Allow them to settle. 10. The outward walk, integration in motion. Return by the same path. This outward journey is integration. With each step outward, ask, how do I bring this insight into daily life? Visualize placing the clarity into your hands, heart, and feet. 11. Close the practice 3 to 5 minutes. At the exit, pause, breathe slowly, offer gratitude. If you lit a candle, let it burn safely or snuff it with intention. This closure seals the movement and moves it from the labyrinth into ordinary life. 12. Post-walk integration, journaling and embodiment. Immediately write 3 to 8 lines, sensations, images, one action you will take. Follow up with a simple embodied practice, a short walk in nature, a warm drink, or gentle yoga to ground the insight into the body. 13. Variations to deepen practice. Timed walks, 20 to 30 minutes standard. Extend center time for deeper work. Night walks, candlelit labyrinth for dream work. Use caution. Guided, record a short audio guide for yourself with prompts. Group, lead with one facilitator. Share only after everyone has reintegrated. 14. Building your own labyrinth. Practical tips. Use rope, chalk, stones, or tape. A 7-circuit chartreuse pattern is classic. A simple spiral of 3 to 5 turns also works. Make paths wide enough for a steady step and safe footing. 15. Troubleshooting and safety. If overwhelming emotions surface, sit at edge and breathe. Have water and a phone nearby. This practice is powerful, but not a substitute for therapy. If you have severe trauma or psychosis, consult a mental health professional first. 16. Make it a rhythm. Practice weekly for a month, and monthly seasonally. The labyrinth rewards repetition. Insights compound, clarity deepens, and life's noise quiets. 17. Integration rituals for lasting change. Turn one insight into a small daily action for 21 days. A journaling sentence, a 5-minute breath ritual each morning, or one compassionate act. Little acts transmute labyrinth wisdom into new habit. Remember, walking a labyrinth is both ancient technology and modern therapy. It teaches patience, cultivates silence, and anchors insight in the body. Try one walk this week. Notice the difference between the person who enters and the one who leaves. As you emerge from the winding paths of the labyrinth, you carry with you more than a fleeting sense of calm. You carry a mirror of life itself. Every twist and turn has shown that even when the path seems to lead away from the center, you are still being guided exactly where you need to be. This is the wisdom of the labyrinth, a living reminder that life's detours are not mistakes, but part of a greater pattern. The inward journey teaches release, the center offers clarity, and the return path restores balance. What seems chaotic at first glance reveals itself as harmony when viewed from above. Across centuries, seekers, monks, pilgrims, and mystics have walked these very patterns, not for entertainment, but for transformation. Today, you stand in that same current, using an ancient tool to awaken modern clarity. So, when life feels overwhelming, when answers hide in silence, or when you crave connection to something greater, walk the labyrinth. Whether traced with your finger, laid with stones in your backyard, or discovered in a hidden cathedral floor, it will meet you where you are and lead you where you need to go. The labyrinth is not only a path on the ground, it is a path within. Each step is a prayer, each turn a lesson, and each arrival a new beginning. And now, as you step out from this exploration, remember, the labyrinth never truly ends. It lives in your choices, your breath, and the rhythm of your daily walk through life. If you felt resonance in this journey, join me again here in the Labyrinth of the Veiled, where ancient wisdom continues to whisper its truths into the modern world. Now I ask you, will you walk the labyrinth and see what it reveals about your own path?